Ladies and gentlemen, what is Raila Odinga's game plan? Because Raila Odinga was in Migori today, where he led his Azimio brigades to a major political rally. And I paid very close attention to Raila Odinga's speech. At some point, he got emotional. But there are two things which Raila Odinga stated in that rally which caught my attention. Number one, Raila Odinga indicated that Migori rally was his last rally in Nyanza. That was deep. The other thing he indicated that he's ready to die for Kenyans. And that 20th will be that defining moment. I will do that analysis later today. I think that's Raila Odinga's chopper. But for now, I want us to look at something which happened today in Kisumu. Yesterday, Raila Odinga addressed the nation and he announced the beginning of mass action, which will culminate into a major activity or procession in Nairobi on 20th. So today there were series or pockets of demonstrations across the country. If you were keen, there were demonstrations in Kondele. Which led to this dramatic scene which is going to form the basis of this analysis. There were demonstrations in Vihiga. There were demonstrations in Kisii. There were demonstrations in some parts of Nairobi. And I think in Kirinyaga there were also some demonstrations, if I'm not wrong. Of course, Voi, there were also demonstrations. But I want us to look at the dramatic scene in Kisii. In Kisumu, where Azimio supporters actually took off with police roadblock. But before you do all those, in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us get back to the main issue. If you followed the demonstrations in Kisumu very closely, they actually began from the ungazetted barracks, which is Kondele, and they moved peacefully, heading towards State House. At that some point, they got the roadblock there. And you could see these guys just doing their things. And then at some point, they took off with the, with the roadblock. But for me, I came to several conclusions from what I observed in Kisumu. Number one, Raila Odinga strategy. It is clear that Raila Odinga has a clear strategy on how he's going to deal with these all mass action programs. You know, Kisumu is normally the bedrock of Raila Odinga support base and Nairobi. So the strategy is simple. Have pockets of demonstrations across the country. Today it was Kisumu, tomorrow I think another place. I saw Mombasa. In Mombasa, the ODM team there held a meeting, which means they're likely to do something either today, tomorrow. So what I'm suspecting is that Raila Odinga's strategy is simple. Let these demonstrations pop up across the country everywhere. Then again, he was in Migori. From Migori, you heard him. He's talking of boycotting certain products. Why would Raila Odinga tell his supporters to boycott certain products when, for example, Rigathi Gachagua has made Kenyans believe that milk is owned by Uhuru, that gas is owned by Raila? So why do you think he's telling Kenyans to boycott those programs? Probably he's telling them so that the Kenya Kwanza government can then go and tell Kenyans, boycott Brookside, boycott Tuzo, or boycott gas cylinder. So for me, Raila Odinga's strategy came out of that Kisumu rally, and it was clear. Number two, I also observed a bit of reluctance from the police. Why do you think the police were reluctant? I'm coming to two conclusions. Number one, I tend to think that the police are under strict instructions to refrain. Or maybe they didn't want the issue to escalate, because normally you just throw out a tear gas, poop, everything blow up. So the thing is, I was saying, sorry, there's a lot of disruption just around here. I don't know why today at this hour. I think there are some plumbers who are doing some work at my neighbors. But what I'm trying to say is that I tend to think that the police are either trying to refrain so that they don't escalate, or William Ruto is trying to be seen to be someone who is not keen on attacking Raila Odinga supporters. Because maybe these people were sent to provoke Ruto. Because Ruto had promised the country that he's not Uhuru, he's not Kibaki. So which means he was going to deal with them differently. I'm also looking at the possibility that, number two, the police could also be sympathetic to these demonstrators. Because as long as the police are sympathetic to the demonstrators, definitely they can do nothing. So let us wait and see how the whole thing is going to unfold. And number three, the third thing which I'm also observing is that this could be test run. They're running their test to see how the police would react. And that's why in Nyanza, there were demonstrations in Kisumu. In Western, there were demonstrations in Vihiga. In coastal region, there were demonstrations, I think, in Voi. And let us wait and see. But I tend to think that these are just test runs. Test runs. They are seeing whether the Sophorias are effective. They are testing how the police will be reacting, so that when the main day will come, things will be different. And lastly, and this is also very important, I think I read a lot of confusion from Azimio. There is no clear command on how all this thing is going to be managed. For example, in Kisumu, you know, they didn't know what to do next, how to go about it. So I tend to think that maybe the local leadership decided to organize the whole event. In Vihiga, you could also tell that the whole thing was not really organized. So this kind of disconnect between these events and the way they are tied at the national level. I don't know what to think, but for me, I read a lot of confusion. So which means if these guys want to organize these particular demonstrations, then they should be in a way that portrays some kind of organization. For example, what time are they beginning? Who is going to lead them? How are they conducted? The police, how are they going to deal with the police? Are they going to be friendly with the police, or are they going to be rowdy to the police? Yeah, so all this, but in all, at least something is happening, and let us wait and see how all thing is going to happen. Sorry for that disruption, which has made it very difficult even for me to really deliver. Until next time, Makwiny.